Hey, Magic fans, back again as we try to catch up on some more spoilers for you to watch this morning while we wait for the spoilers to come out for November 1st. Oh, here we go. This one's going to be even longer with more skipping, and I'm going to try to make it quick. But most of the artifacts have now been spoilered that are going to be in the special art slots. So that's going to be cool, and we get to see what all those are. So let's get into it because we get to see all the sweet new artifacts that are getting reprinted. And who's going to get their soul crushed for cards that they kept they didn't think would reprint. So, with all that said, let's get started. But don't forget to subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 peeps. So we'll start it off with Machine Over Matter. Blue and 1 instant, costs 1 less to cast for an artifact. You get to return a permanent to owner's hand. Basically a unsummon for anything. Thopter Mechanic, blue and 1 for 2/1. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, put +1/+1 counter on Thopter Mechanic. When Mechanic dies, create a 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature token with flying. This is really good. Wow, that's a great uncommon. It gets real big till they're forced to kill it, and then you still get a 1/1 flyer after it's all said and done. Battlefield Butcher, black and 2 for a 1/4, 5 and tap. Each opponent loses 2 life. Ability costs 1 less to activate for each creature card in your graveyard. This is disgusting. This could very easily be free. You just be like, and blam, lose 2 life. Blam, lose 2 life. Notice it says each opponent. Commander players. Yeah, I'm talking to you. So, moving on. Next we have Sundering Titan got reprinted. So that's sweet. 8 for a 7/10. When it enters the battlefield, choose a land of each basic land type and destroy them. So that's going to be fun times for somebody in Limited. The next set of artifacts we have reprinted Soul Guide Lantern. Not too shabby. The Sigil of Valor, for those who don't remember, it's 2 colorless. Equipped creature attacks alone and gets +1/+1 in a turn for each other creature you control. Kind of like Super Exalted, excuse me. Soul Guide Lantern will stop all of those graveyard recursion needs. Self-assembler, 5 colorless. When it enters the battlefield, you may search for another one. An assembly worker, which could be this or anything else, honestly. Reveal it, put it into your hand, so you can basically, if you have a bunch of these, you can just, go through them like water. Sculpting Steel, becomes a copy of any artifact on the battlefield, which is great for not just you, but your opponent's crap. All these are very good cards. The next set we have is the Runechanter's Pike. 2 colorless, equips for 2, gets first strike +X+0, where X is the number of instant sorcery cards in your graveyard. That's going to be amazing. Pristine Talisman, add 1 colorless to your pool, gain 1 life. Very interesting for 3 mana. I don't think it's going to be good in Commander because for 3 mana you can get colored stuff, and I think you're just better off that way. But we'll have to wait and see. Precursor Golem reprint, 5 colorless. It's a 3/3. When it comes in, you get 2 other 3/3s. Now, unfortunately, if you target it with something, it targets all of them. If that's a giant growth, yay for you. If that's your opponent's kill spell, boo for you. Platinum Angel reprint, 7 colors for a 4/4. You can't lose the game and your opponent can't win. Next we have Phyrexian Processor. We've already seen that. The Millstone got reprinted, so yes, Ashnod's Altar, Altar Dimension, Millstone. Mill will be a thing. Mazemind Tome, 2. Put a page count on it, scry 1 for 2. Put a page counter on it, draw a card. For 4 more counters, you exile it and gain 4 life. Liquid Metal Coating reprint, not too bad. 2 colorless. Target permanent becomes artifact addition to other types. Good old combo with Karn back in the day. We have Key to the City, which was not a good card to begin with, but 2 colorless, discard 1 card, 1 creature can't be blocked, takes 2 to pay and untap it. If you do, draw a card, or whenever it becomes untapped. Keening Stone, 6 colorless, 5, tap it, target player mills X cards, where X is the number of cards in that player's graveyard. Again, mills a thing. And this is going to be disgusting if you catch somebody with 20 cards in their graveyard. Anyway, Joiner's Kite, 2 colorless, 3 and tap, search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it into your hand, and then shuffle. This thing is disgusting and broken. Just like search a land every turn, just because you can. And it's colorless, it goes in any deck. Ichor Wellspring, remember this bad boy, 2 colorless, you get to draw a card whenever it's put into the graveyard or the battlefield, when it enters the battlefield or put in the graveyard, you get to draw a card. Again, Another great card that combos off in the Eternal formats, and we may see something come out to make that a very powerful card. Next we have the Gilded Lotus reprint. Add 3 mana of any color for 5. Perilous Vault, which is basically a 4 casting cost, 5 to exile all non-land permanents. Nervino's Disc. Foundry Inspector, because it wouldn't be complete if you didn't have something that made all your artifacts cheaper. 3 colors for a 3/2, made all your stuff cheaper by 1. Elsewhere Flask, 2 colorless. The Elsewhere Flask enters the battlefield, you draw a card. You may then choose a land type. Each land you control becomes that type until the end of turn. That way you can kind of do a mana fix thing. Plus it lets you draw a card. Gonna be really great and limited, not gonna lie. Next we have Steel and Oil Dreams. 1 black sorcery. Target opponent reveals their hand. Choose up to 1 artifact or creature card from it. Then choose an artifact or creature card from their graveyard. Exile the chosen cards. This is an amazing discard spell for the new set, and it's going to be very popular. Foils of this card is probably going to be $5. I ain't going to lie. This is good. Siege Veteran, white and 2 for a 2/2. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Whenever another non-token soldier you control dies, create a 1/1 colorless soldier artifact creature token. This card is disgusting on its own. It just keeps getting bigger till they have to kill it. Again, it's going to be one hell of a format once all this stuff rotates in. Sweet Jesus. Next, we have another lot of artifacts. The old Chromatic Star. You can tap it for any color and draw a card. Sword of the Meek, where equipped creature gets +1/+2. Whenever a 1/1 enters the battlefield, it auto-equips to it. Springleaf Drum, from 1, you can tap an untapped creature you control to add mana for mana fixing. We have the Old Mystic Forge. 4 colorless. Look at the top card of your library anytime you cast artifact spells. And colorless card from top of your library. Pay 1 life to exile top card. This is going to be amazing in limited. And this is probably going to see heavy play with this set being in standard. Holy God. Reconstructed Thopter. 3 colors for a 2/1 flyer. You can unearth it for 2. Not the best, but not the worst. Burnished Heart reprint, because everybody loves a good Burnished Heart. 3 colors for a 2/2 that you can sacrifice. Search your library for 2 basic land cards. Put them on the battlefield tapped. Pretty sweet for 6 mana and 2 chunks. Commander guys love it. Right, another group of artifacts. The old Bonesaw is back. 0 to cast. Equips for 1. It's +1/+0. Black Blade Reforged. 2 colorless. Get +1/+1 for each land you control. Equips legendary things for 3. Everything else for 7. Adaptive Automation, 3 colors for a 2/2. Enters the battlefield, you choose a creature type. Whenever that chosen type, it's that chosen type in addition to other types and other creatures you control of that chosen type get +1/+1. It is a lord of your choosing. Well of Lost Dreams, 4 colorless. Whenever you gain life, you may pay X, where X is less than or equal to the amount of life you gained. If you do, draw X cards. Busted. All right. Next we have Astral Cornucopia. Cast for basically 0. You get mana off of it. The Spike, 3 colorless. Equipped creature has Death Touch. When equipped creature does combat damage to a player, that player loses half their life rounded up. That's going to be really something in standard and limited. Wow, bye. Scrap Crawler reprint. Trawler, sorry. 3 colors for a 3/2. Get stuff back from your graveyard. Oh, Cloud Key. How we've missed you. 3 colorless. As it enters the battlefield, choose artifact, creature, enchant, or sorcery. Spells of the chosen type are 1 less to cast. Next, we have Samblin's Anvil, 3 colorless. Imprint. When it enters the battlefield, you may exile an online card from your hand. Spells you cast that share a card type with the exile card cost 2 less to cast. That'll be very interesting. Next, we have Psychosis Crawler, 5 for a XX. Power and toughness equal the number of cards in your hand. Whenever you draw a card, each opponent loses 1 life. Not too shabby. Door to Nothingness for 5 mana. Nothing better than paying 10 mana to sacrifice Door to Nothingness when target player loses the game, i.e. Dragon Engine Ramos. Anyway, next we have, wow, what a name, Phology Dragon Engine, 8 for a 5/5 with flying, +1/+0 till the end of turn. Prototype it for 3, get a 1/3 that gets +1/+1 to the end of turn but doesn't die. So this is going to easily be a red card that will probably never see be cast for 8. And if it is, you probably already lost. Next we have Simian Simulacrum. Simian? Okay, we got the monkeys. We got the monkeys. 3 colorless for a 2/1. When it enters the battlefield, put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature you control. Oh, okay. So basically, it's a 4/3. And you can unearth it as a 4/3. Or you can make something really big, swing with it, let it die, unearth it then, and make the other thing even bigger. I like it. Next, we have the Thopter Architect, white and 3 for a 2/3. When an artifact enters the battlefield under your control, target creature gains flying at the end of turn. That's going to be disgusting and limited. Mechanized Warfare, 2 red and 1. Enchantment, if a red or artifact source you control deal combat damage to an opponent or permanent an opponent controls, it deals that much +1. I mean, I've seen better. Obliteratory Bolt, red and 1. It deals 4 damage to target creature or planeswalker. If that creature or planeswalker would die, exile it. This is going to be the red removal. This is, things. Alright, one with the multiverse. Sounds like a Marvel thing. Anyway, 2 blue and 6 enchantment. Look at the top card of your library at any time. You may play lands and cast spells from the top of your library. Once during each of your turns, you may cast a spell from your hand or the top of your library without paying its mana cost, because that's what we need. More broken free casting. Ugh, God. Moving on. Next we have Brotherhood's End. 2 red and 1 for a sorcery. It deals 3 damage to each creature and each planeswalker, or destroy all artifacts, mana value 3 or less. Seems like a pretty good starter, or at least sideboard. Oh, hey, look, we got a brand new land. Fortified Beach. When it enters the battlefield, you may reveal a soldier card from your hand. The beach enters the battlefield tapped unless you reveal a soldier card in this way, or you control a soldier. Wow, very nice. And for 5, soldiers get +1/+1. I don't think this is a reprint. If there's one like this for every dual color combination, that's going to be interesting. I like it. We have the Audacity. So for 1 green enchant creature, +2/+0 has trample and was put in the graveyard from the battlefield, draw a card. Seems good for limited. Heck, it might even be good enough for standard. Obstinate Baloth reprint. Yep, but I got to keep that Liliana in check. Just saying. This is going to be a must-have in almost every green deck, so expect that from now on. Mishra's Onslaught, red and 3, choose 1, create 2 1/1 soldier tokens, or creatures get +2/+0. That is not exciting at all. Good for limited probably, but Tuska's Dig Site. So taps for colorless, 3 and tap, surveil 1. Seems good for limited. Thran Power Suit, 2 colorless, equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each aura and equipment attached to it, and it has Ward 2, attack equips for 2. Seems powerful for limited. Alright, the Su-Chi Cave Guard, 8 colorless for an 8/8, has Vigilance, Ward 4. When it dies, you add 8 colorless. Until end of turn, you don't lose mana as steps and phases end. Wow. Just wow. Just thought we always needed a Su-Chi that was monstrous. Anyway, Phalagi Vanguard, white, red, and 2 for a 2/3 with first strike. Whenever this or another creature enters the battlefield under your control, target creature gets +2/+0 in a turn. Oh, so this starts becoming a 4/3 and a 6/3 first striker constantly. Got it. Goblin Firebomb, 1 colorless with flash. 7 tap, sacrifice it, destroy target permanent. We've had this before. It's just called something different. It's fine. Third path, Iconoclast, red blue, 2/1. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a 1/1 colorless soldier artifact creature token. Can anybody say Young Peasy? Moving on. Next we have Twinos' Tinkering. Green and 3, put 2 +1/+1 counters target artifact creature and or land. Untap that permanent. If it's not a creature, it becomes a 0/0 creature in addition, so you can make a 2/2. Seems bad. Gaia's Gift, green and 1, put a +1/+1 counter target creature control, gains reach, trample, hexproof, and indestructible at the end of turn, because hexproof or indestructible just isn't enough. It's got to have both. This is probably going to see a lot of play. Next we have Fog of War. Green and 2, you gain 1 life for each creature on the battlefield, prevent no combat damage that will be dealt to you this turn by creature's power 3 or less. Okay, so at least it's not a total fog. Sorta. An Excavation, 2 green and 3, create 3 tap Power Stone tokens, gain 3 life. That seems completely useless for 5 mana. Unless there's no way to fetch land, then this seems okay. Anyway. Moving on, Raise to the Ground, red and 2, spell can't be countered, destroy target artifact, its mana cost value was 1 or less, draw a card. This might see a lot of play. Well, okay, it's sorcery. Maybe not. Maybe, never mind. Never mind. Limited, maybe. Sibling Rivalry. So, red and 3, gain control of target artifact or creature till end of turn. Untap it. It gains haste till end of turn. Create a tap Power Stone. Whatever. Mishra's Research Desk. For 1, you get an artifact that for 1, you can sacrifice Research Desk, exile top 2 cards of your library, choose one of them. Till end of turn, you may play it, and you can unearth it for red and 1. Seems pretty sweet. Not gonna lie. Next, Epic Confrontation. Green and 1. Target creature control gets +1/+2 to end of turn. It fights target creature you don't control. That is a really good common fight spell. Wow. Okay. Limited All-Star. Next we have Cyric Blast. Red and 3, additional cost of the spell, sack a creature. Damage equal to sacrifice creature's power to any target, draw a card. You literally could do this with a Suchi and blow somebody up in the face for 8 and draw a card off of it. I think this has promise. Because it's silly. Mishra's Domain. Red and 1. Enchant creature as long as you control enchanted creature gets +2/+2. Otherwise, it can't block. Interesting. Next, we have the Vashali Chain Dancer. Red and 3 for a 2/4. It gains double strike in a turn for 2 colorless. That seems awful. Just no. Thran Vigil. Black and 1, whenever it's an enchantment, whenever one or more artifacts and or creature cards leave your graveyard during your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on creature you control. I mean, token deck maybe, counters deck. Disciples of Gix. 2 black and 4/4/4/4. When they enter the battlefield, search your library for up to 3 artifact cards. Put them into the graveyard, then shuffle. I mean, if that's where you want them, I guess. But, yeah. Gix's Caress. Black and 2. Target opponent reveals their hand. If you choose an online card from it, that player discards that card. Create a tapped Power Stone. The 1 mana one seems better. No One Left Behind. Black and 4. Spell costs 3 less to cast if it targets a creature card with mana value 3 or less. Return target card from the graveyard to the battlefield. This is disgusting on several levels. For 2 mana, you can get 3 or less. For 5, you get anything. There's going to be a deck built around this. Oh my god, this is disgusting. Next, we have Power Stone Fracture, black and 1. Additional cost to this spell, sacrifice an artifact or creature. Destroy target creature or planeswalker, limited all-star. Next, Ashnod's Intervention for 1 black instant. Until end of turn, target creature gets +2/+0, and whenever it dies, or put to exile from the battlefield, return it to the owner's hand. Basic. Next. Urza's Rebuff. 2 blue and 1. You get to choose one. Counter a target spell or tap up to 2 target creatures. That's a really cool counter spell. Not bad. Mightstone's Animation. Blue and 3. Enchant artifact. When it enters the battlefield, you get to draw a card. Enchanted artifact is a creature with power and toughness 4/4 in addition to other types. Not terrible. Latnam Adapt. Blue and 3 for a 3/3. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, put a +1/+1 counter on him. Forging the Anchor. Blue and 2 sorcery. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal any number of artifact cards from among them and put the revealed cards into your hand. Put the rest in the bottom in random order. Seems really good in a set like this for 3 mana sorcery. Archaeologist, blue and 1 for an 0/3. When it enters the battlefield, mill 3 cards. You may play a non-creature, non-land card from among those milled cards this way into your hand. If you don't, put a +1/+1 counter on this. Survivor of Corliss. Interesting. 1 white for a 1/1. First strike. Exile the Survivor from your graveyard to scry 2. This seems like a definite must in a white weenie deck. I like it. Repair and Recharge. 2 white and 3. Return target artifact, enchantment, or planeswalker card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Create a tapped Power Stone. There's going to be lots of black-white animation decks. Ugh. Anyway. Lauren, Disciple of History. White and 3 for a 3/3. Whenever this or another legendary creature enters the battlefield under your control, return target artifact card from your graveyard to your hand. Very nice. Next we have good old Disenchant. We'll just kill all the artifacts and enchantments. Calamity's Wake, white and 1. Exile all graveyards. Players can't cast non-creature spells this turn. Exile the Wake. Seems like a really good sideboard card. Lay down arms, 1 white. Exile target creature, mana value less than or equal to the number of planes you control. Its controller gains 3 life. It's almost like a fixed Swords to Plowshares. We're going to have to wait and see how good this is, but I think this is going to be a very good removal card for White Weenie. Next, Blanchwood Armor reprint, green and 2. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 for each forest you control. That could be very devastating, and it's limited. Sidardian Cliff Stomper, red and 1 for an 0/4 as long as it's your turn, and you control 4 or more mountains. He gets +X/+O or X in the number of mountains you control. Probably good enough though for 2. Corrupt reprint, very nice. Corrupt deals damage to any target equal to the number of swamps you control. You gain life equal to that number dealt. This is just what we need for all these mono black decks running around. More ways to kill things or kill you. Flow of Knowledge, blue and 4. Draw a card for each island you control, then discard 2. Painful Quandary, 2 black and 3. Enchantment. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, that player loses 5 lives unless they discard a card. Seems pretty good, especially for Commander. I don't know if it's got legs for Standard or not, but we'll have to wait and see. Demolition Field, very interesting. So taps for a colorless for 2 and sacrificing it. You can destroy a non-basic land an opponent controls. That land's controller searches their library for a basic land card, put it on the battlefield. Then shuffle. You may search your library for a basic land card, put it on the battlefield, then shuffle. It's basically I forget what it's called, but they've already made this once called something else. But anyway. Next, we have Tyrant of Kerr Ridges. What we have here, ladies and gentlemen, is a fixed Shivan Dragon. 2 red and 4 for a 4/5 flyer that deals 4 damage to any target when it comes into the field. That includes your opponent. And has fire breathing, just like a Shivan Dragon, for 1 less power. This is disgusting. But fair. Yes, fair. Alright, Prima Linea da Yota. Alright guys, we're back. Sorry about that. Had a slight malfunction. I'll just splice these 2 videos together because this is taking way too long. The artifact was 1 colorless Jolton Soldier. When it attacks, another creature gets +1/+1 and others for 1 white. So there's that. So next, moving on. The Arblast Engineers, red, green, and 1 for a 2/2. Enters the battlefield, choose 1, deals 1 damage to any target, +1/+1 counter on a target creature, and gains trample and haste, which could be it, or create a tap Power Stone. Again, free ramp spells. Seems really powerful. Heavyweight Demolisher, 7 colors for an 8/6. Alright, more video trouble. Sorry, I'm trying to get through this before my thing blows up on me. Cake Sun, 6 colorless. When it enters the battlefield, choose a color. Creatures that show get +1/+1. Land ability causes you to add 1 or more mana of the chosen color. Add additional 1. So pretty sweet. Inspiring Sanctuary, 3 colorless. Non-artifact spells you cast have improvise. Yeah, just nuts. Defense Grid reprint. Hello. 2 colorless. Each spell costs 3 more to cast, except during its controller's turn. That's gonna be something special. Helm of the Host reprint. 4 colorless. Put it on a creature. It copies it during combat. Pretty sweet. Urza's Sylex. 3 colorless Sylex. That says for 2 white and 2, exile the Sylex. Each player chooses 6 lands they control. Destroy all of the permanents. Only activates a sorcery. When the Urza Sylex is put in exile from the battlefield, you may pay 2 colorless. If you do, search your library for a Planeswalker card, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Blue-white powerhouse. The Temporal Anchor. So 3 blue and 3 for a legendary artifact. Beginning for upkeep, scry 2. Whenever you choose to put 1 or more cards on the bottom of your library while scrying, exile that many cards from the bottom of your library. During your turn, you may play cards exiled with the Anchor. This thing's amazing. Wow. Next, we have the Arcane Proxy. 7 colorless for a 4/3. When it enters the battlefield, if you cast it, exile target instant sorcery card, mana value less than or equal to its equal to the proxy's power from the graveyard. Copy the card, cast it for free. Bleh. For 3 mana, it's a 2/1, which is kind of a small Snapcaster Mage for 3. This is probably going to see buttloads of play in Standard. It might even sneak into a couple of Eternal formats, but probably not to be cast at 7. And if it is cast at 7, Lord help you. We have a Rust Goliath 10 for a 10/10 with Reach and Trample. Prototype 5 mana for a 3/5. Not so big, but Reach and Trample. Decent common. Next we have Depth Charge Colossus, 9 colors for a 9/9. Doesn't untap, but for 3 mana you can untap it. 6 mana gets you a 6/6 that has the exact same archetype. Fine for limited. That's as far as it's going to go, though. Hall of Tagsin. So this rare land taps for colorless. For 1 and tapping it, adds a mana of any color. For 4 and tapping it, you can make Power Stones. Might be a thing in Standard, but might not go much further than that. The Fall of Krog. 2 red and 4. Choose target opponent. Destroy target land that player controls. The Fall of Krog deals 3 damage to that player and 1 damage to each creature they control. This just seems really bad. Just awful. For 6 mana. Harbin Vanguard Aviator, a blue and white for a 3/2 flyer. Whenever you attack with 5 or more soldier creatures you control, get +1/+. Creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain flying to the end of turn. The blue-white soldier deck's going to be a thing. Thran Spider, 3 colorless for a 2/4 with reach. When it enters the battlefield, you and target opponent each create a tapped Power Stone. For 7, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal an artifact card from among them, put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Not too shabby. We made it through there. Only 2 or 3 or 4 computer glitches due to the length of the video. Sorry about that, guys. I appreciate you guys hanging in there and keep watching. With all that said, guys, remember, try to get to 1,000 subscribers. Please sub up. I'm going to go ahead and end it now because it's taken way too long already. You know what else goes on. Until next time, be kind. And I hope to see you across from the game table.